ball game. We appreciate that. We didn't give them much ticket involved in the first half, I didn't think, although the defense of that did a fair job in the first half. Anyhow, I thought both the quarterbacks for the Stallions performed well. They kept us on our heels by running, things like that. But I thought they both, they did a good job. They helped them. Both defenses, both teams did a very good job as well. That was probably our strength as well as Jake. The things that were pretty good, we kept them out of the end zone, but they got some yards and all. So outside of that, that's about it. We got.
Cameron Gill with Detroit News. So obviously I think the big story about this game is offensive line struggles. You guys gave up 7 sacks, and after over 100 rushing yards last game, you guys only had 47. So was there anything their defensive line kind of did to just overwhelm, or did you see any offensive line miscommunications that just happened today?
I have to credit their players. They did a very good job. The one-on-ones that that's basically what it was, I think, in the offensive line. I thought the one-on-ones were they won the majority of them at times, and they got to our quarterback naturally. But outside of that, we have to just continue to work and get better.
Thanks, Coach. Roy Akers, Skyview Sports. Looked like they went a little sweet and sour with the quarterbacks, from the running quarterback to the passing one, back and forth. Did that throw you off at all, or were you expecting it?
No, that didn't throw us off, to be honest. I mean, not to take anything away from them, because they played well. Our opponent did today. But, no, that wasn't it so much. What threw us off the most was there was a couple runs that they got out of the pocket on, and a couple of them were on a third down. And so that was disappointing, because on third down, obviously, you get in situations you think you're going to get off. But that was more it. But again, they both played well. I was impressed with both of them. I have not history of playing against Martinez, but I've seen him. I remember when he came out when he was at K-State, and before that at Nebraska, and I was always impressed with him then as well. So I was kind of curious, but he did a nice job today.
Coach Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. Turnovers and some dumb penalties were kind of a big problem in the first half. I was wondering, how much time do you spend during the week really focusing on the mental side of the ball, and what can you do to keep it a little bit lower for next week?
Yeah, well, when it comes to takeaways, we're actually one of the teams that spends a good 10 minutes right at the beginning of practice before we do anything else, just working on ball security by the offense, and then stripping the ball on defense. And it doesn't show this year. Last year we started out hot and we got a lot of takeaways and all. And this year we've been very cold in that category, and it's hurt us in both ball games. But it is something that we stress and work on quite a bit. We just got to continue to stay down that road and keep working on it, which we'll do. And I think things will always turn. They always do when you stay with it. But we're not trying to catch up, so to speak, as far as that goes. In other words, we're not all of a sudden going to start working on it because we hadn't been. It's just a case we need to get, it needs to start showing that is what we've been doing. And hopefully it does, because you're right, though. The takeaways have been, or us giving the ball away, I should say, has hurt us.
Coach James Larson with the Pro Football Newsroom. Like we kind of talked about a little bit, Birmingham defensively, especially up front, really set the tone. And I'm looking, Wes Hills and Nate McCrary, only 9 carries for the both of them that went for around 13 yards. Was that the game plan coming into the game, to not run the ball as much, knowing how good their defensive line was, or was it just an adjustment that you made during the game, just with how things were going?
The plan was really to look much like last week from the standpoint of ratio between run and pass, but we weren't out there very long in the first half. We had a lot of 3 and outs, and we didn't sustain much drive, and so there weren't really the opportunities, you could say. And then in the second half, I think we were playing a little bit of the catch-up game, trying to the big plays for us came the one pass. I don't know how long it was, but things like that. The explosives were kind of what we started to go after, because at the line of scrimmage we were losing those battles, whether it was protecting the quarterback or whether it was trying to run the ball. I think we took it up front a little bit. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach Dave McDonald, the Pitt Media. A bright spot for our team was definitely the defense on third down, holding Birmingham to around 30% on conversion. With the way Jake Bates is playing in the kicking game, did you consider leaning into the kicking game earlier in these games?
In the way of kicking game, you're talking about, for example, try longer field goals,
or going to maybe in some of these scenarios where you're inside of the 30 early in the game.
Well, yeah, but we'd wait for the fourth down opportunity to do it. I won't jump the gun and try it on third down. Naturally, that wouldn't be the smart thing to do. But in the turnover, for example, the first turnover we had, we were down there, I think, inside the 20, actually, and then we turned the ball over, just like we did a week ago. Obviously, we came out with a win, so it didn't hurt us as bad. But this week, that was, that hurt us because we gave up points. But believe me, with Jake being able to kick the way he does, it's where we have to get to. Just like today, he kicked a 62-yarder. I don't think in a normal situation I probably would have punted that if it weren't for somebody like Jake being our kicker. So we are taking advantage of when we can. We just got to get in that situation more often. Today was we couldn't seem to get on the plus side of the field very much, in particular in the first half. But we'll continue to, believe me, Jake is quite a weapon, and we'll use him with every opportunity we have.
Last question right here.
Hey, Coach. Josh Elijah, Down by Two Media. Just on Bates, what are some of the intangibles that he does bring, on and off the field as a leader?
Well, I don't spend much time with him off the field, but on the field, I watch him a good bit. And he's very calm, very cool, very consistent, and that goes for practice as well. And those are the things I see all the time. And not only he's consistent from long range, he's calm and cool from long range. He's got a lot of very positive things about him. Now, he's only kicked 3 now in the game, but they've been 3 long ones. He's doing a good job. I think, going forward, he's going to help us win ball games like he's already done. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks to EJ. We'll open it up to questions. Please raise your hands as we will pass the mic.
Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. EJ, you didn't really seem to be scrambling as much this week as you did last week, and I was just wondering, was it an concerted effort to go through your reads a little bit further before you pulled the ball down and ran, or did you just not simply have as much time as you did last week?
I think it was just a product of how the game was being played. There's different games play out differently. They were playing a lot more zone in the first half. They played more man in the second half, but yeah, I don't think it was anything too scouted or anything.
Anybody else?
EJ, you had some great plays with Sims today. You were targeting him a lot. Could you just walk us through that connection that you have with him and how when you're going through your progressions, then you can see him as that consistent target?
Yeah, Marcus is an awesome player. He has tremendous speed, unlike probably best guy in the league. So we love, targeting him. We love getting him down the field, and that speed scares people, and you get him open underneath. So he made a lot of good plays today, and yeah, we love getting him the ball.
One in the back. Keith, can you walk us through that interception, what you were seeing on the field, and what made you want to jump out and make a play there and help your team?
We obviously knew that we needed to get a stop for the offense. We just sent the pressure. Everybody had to just lock up. Frank, he almost got the sack, but we just kept plastering everybody. Fought that whole play. Nobody gave up. So I just kept finding that whole play, ran them down, just got the pick, got down, and gave it to the offense. So I think we needed that a lot.
Thank you. After the turnovers in the first couple of games, getting that pick, was you kind of jumping the route there a little bit, or was you just playing that, just hawking it from point A to point B? I couldn't tell up in the press box.
Yeah.
That was a great intercept.
No. We're in the zero coverage. We just didn't really jump no routes to let the routes kind of come to us. And like I said, QB got out of the pocket, or because Frank missed a sack, I think. So it was just a scramble drill at that point. So everybody just had to plaster, just keep running. So like you said, I just had to hawk it down from the backside.
Yeah, my question is for Keith. Defensively today, you know, Birmingham offensively, we know how good they are, and you were able to contain them for most of the outing, especially, you know, looking at Corral and Martinez. Outside of them running the ball, they didn't really throw it. What was your just assessment of how the secondary played against those receivers today?
I mean, we knew it was going to be a challenge. You know, everybody in this league has good guys on the outside, inside, you know, running backs, QB. So we just had to accept the challenge today. I think we did very well for the most part, kind of containing the pass. Obviously, they did kill us with the run a lot. So.
Keith, 2 weeks in a row now, you guys have been really pretty solid inside of the red zone. How does your mindset change when you're in the red zone and the field really shortens up? What do you look to do differently instead of when you're at midfield or even further back?
Anytime we're in the red zone, we're just told to challenge ourselves, to really lock in and really just play good technique and just be smart about what we do. So all it is just us challenging ourselves to be better, to just get a stop for the offense. That's all it is.
Keith, obviously there's a lot of mental toughness on this defense. You just held the defending champions to, I believe, like 3 for 11 on third down. What goes into that like mindset of needing a stop and getting it?
You know, obviously, we know that our offense is going to get better as we progress. So we just know that we try to get as many stops as we can to give the offense, you know, opportunities to go score. So it's really just, like I said before, just us challenging ourselves in those tough situations on them third downs in the red zone to try to get the ball back for our offense. That's all it is.
Thank you. Question for EJ. Using a lot of slants and kind of like the diving slant where the guys are kind of catching it along the ground. That's been a really good play. I'm sure the team's looking to come up with a second type of a pass to go along with that. Is that something you've been working on and we're getting ready to see that pretty soon?
Yeah. No, Trey and Jordan and a bunch of these guys do a good job running option routes and different stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're definitely continuing to gel and work on things, and you know, we got to take a step in the right direction offensively. I mean, there was too many miscues and drives that we need to finish better and make more plays.
Thank you, media. Thank you, guys, for